English online class. Today we are going to study another type of tense, that is simple past tense. Simple past tense. In the last class you studied simple present tense, isn't it? Hope every one of you have understood properly. Now moving towards today's topic, that is simple past tense. So first of all, you want to know what past tense is. What past tense is? We use simple past tense to talk about finished actions. We talk about finished actions, states or habits in the past. We use simple past tense to talk about finished actions, states or habits in the past. This is very important. We use this tense so often to talk about all kind of things. We can use this tense to tell someone what you did yesterday. We use this tense to tell someone what you did yesterday. So, whatever you are trying to describe that happened before now, you can use simple past tense. So, you can see here on the board. I show a timeline here. We see now in the middle. We see now in the middle. Now in the middle of that line. Everything happened before now is the past. Some into marks are given there. So, everything happened before now is the past. So, if an action started and entered in the past is the simple past tense. What? If an action or situation that started and ended in the past is the simple past tense. So let's look how we form simple past tense. In English, there are two kinds of verbs. There are two kinds of verbs. Do you know what are they? They are regular verbs and irregular verbs. What are they? They are regular verbs and irregular verbs. Do you know what is regular verb? Do you know? Regular verbs are the ones that in the past they just have added ed or d. The verb ends with ed or d. For example, work, work. Clean, clean. Watch, watch. All these words ends with what? Ed. At the end, they have ed or d. Got it? Do you know what are irregular verbs? We don't have a past tense form that ends with ed. Sometimes a verb changes a little bit. Sometimes a verb changes completely. Probably have some verbs like this. Just look at the word. Look here. For example, go. In the past form, it becomes went. Go. The past form of go is went. It's completely different, isn't it? Then the next one, see. See. What's the past form? So. I see today. I saw yesterday. I see today. I saw yesterday. The past form of see is what? So. Then the next one is buy. Buy. Buy becomes what? Bought. Buy, bought. So these are irregular verbs. So listen here. Regular words ends with ed or d. But irregular verbs doesn't happen. We don't have a past tense form that ends with ed. Sometimes a verb changes a little bit. Sometimes a verb changes completely. Got it? Let's start with the regular verbs. I will show you exactly what to do and how to use them in a positive sentence, negative sentence and in a question. So, we want to take a base form of verb, that is to work. Base form of verb is to work. When we put it into simple past tense, we add ed to the base verb. We add ed to the base verb. That is for positive sentence. Look here. I, you, we, they, he, she, it. When we add this base verb to I worked, we want to add ed for what? Positive sentences. I work, you work, we work, they work, he worked, she worked, it worked. Got it? I will give you one more example. For positive sentence, we want to use subject plus V2 form of the verb. That is, V1 or base form is start. Here the V1 or base form is start. So, the V2 form of start is started. V1 means present and V2 means past. Here the past tense of start is started. So, listen here. I started, you started, he started, she started, it started, we started, you started and they started. Here we use ed to the base form of the verb. Let's move on to changing positive sentence into negative sentence. When we change positive sentence to negative sentence, we use did not with the base form of the verb. We want to use did not before the base form of the verb. Base form means V1 form. Base form means V1 form of the verb. Listen here. These are positive sentences. You study, isn't it? I worked, you worked, we worked. When we change these positive sentences to negative sentences, listen here. We want to use did not. I did not work. This work changed to work. We want to use V1 form, base form in negative sentence. Then the second one. You did not work. But in positive sentence it is I work, you work. But when we change it into negative sentence, I did not work. Want to write the base form of the verb. Here I write didn't. Didn't. Didn't is the short form of did plus not or contraction of did not. In regular conversation, we use didn't. In regular conversation, we use didn't. Look here, I will give you some examples. Listen. Children watch a nice movie. First, you want to find out the verb from this sentence. In this sentence, which is the verb? Here the verb is watch. It's the V2 form of the verb, isn't it? So this is positive sentence. This is a positive sentence. If we want to change this positive sentence to negative, What we want to do? Listen here. You know that in this sentence the verb is watch. Isn't it? Watch is the verb. V2 form of the verb. When we change this sentence to negative, here subject children. Children. Then you want to add didn't. Children didn't. And then you want to change that V2 form of the verb to V1. Base form, that is watch. Change into watch. So, children didn't watch a nice movie. Then the remaining part of the sentence. Got it? Children, first subject, children. Then didn't. Then base form of the verb. Watch a nice movie. And here I will give you one more example. Listen. She went to school. Here the sentence is a positive sentence. When we change this positive sentence to negative, what we want to do? Listen here. Here the subject is she. So we want to write she first. Then we want to write didn't. We want to add didn't. Then here the verb. Verb is went. So we want to change that into V1 form. Means base form. So what's the base form? V1 form of went. Go. She didn't go to school. Got it?
Listen here. Here are some of the important steps that we want to follow while changing positive sentence to negative. Here, first we want to find the verb in the sentence and bring it to its root form. Root form means V1 form. And second one, write did not, that is didn't, before the verb. And here the third one is, we do not have to think about singular or plural subject. Here one example is given for you. Aryan wrote neatly. This is a positive sentence because here the verb is in V2 form. Wrote. When we change this positive sentence to negative sentence, first we want to write the subject Aryan. Then we want to write didn't. And after that, we want to write the V1 form of the verb. Here the V1 form of wrote is write and then neatly. So the sentence is Aryan didn't write neatly.
So next is question form. What happens when we ask a question? Here the question is, did I work? Question is, did I work? Here the order change, isn't it? Did I work? Here the order change. Here the question form is, first the question form, then the subject and then the base form. First question form, did. Then subject, I. Then what? The base form, that is work. Did I work? In question, we came back to the base form of the verb. In question form, we came back to the base form of the verb. I will give you more examples based on this.
Here are some examples of positive sentence, negative sentence and question form. Here the base form is start. For positive sentence, first we want to write the subject. Here the subject is I. And after that, we want to write the V2 form of the verb, that is started. So, the positive form is I started. For changing positive sentence to negative, first we want to write the subject, that is I. And after that, you want to write didn't. And then
we want to write the V1 form of the verb, that is start. So the sentence is I didn't start. For question form, first we want to write did and after that subject and then the V1 form of the verb. Here the sentence is did I start. Please go through these examples. I hope all of you understood this topic, simple past tense. Please watch the video twice or thrice. If you have any doubt, feel free to call your English teacher concerned.